Good morning, everybody. We have a little bit of a different video today. It will not be a drum cover, because I thought we're roughly 2 years into the channel now, and maybe you might be interested into the stuff I'm using, the gear, the drums, the cymbals. So yeah, I thought I make a little video about all of that. Maybe you have a few questions, maybe you don't, but yeah, might be interesting. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. I hope I don't overdo it, but yeah, I hope you will enjoy it. Okay, let's directly start with the most important part, the drums itself. It's a 3-piece maple kit from the company DR Customs. Maybe you have heard from them before. I actually haven't until I bought the drum set. I think they're a bit a smaller company. They only make custom drum sets. You can check out their website. They have really a lot of cool drum sets there. We have a 22 by 18 inch kick drum, then a 12 by 8 tom mounted on a snare stand, and a 16 by 16 inch floor tom. I think it is 16 by 16. The depth, I'm not 100% sure, but it should be 16 by 16. Actually, there is a interesting backstory to this. Originally, I had already purchased a set from SJC, a Pathfinder, but I think it was right at the beginning of Corona, somewhere first half of 2020, and they couldn't deliver it, and then they stopped actually producing it for a while. So I had to rethink, and then I found this on the internet, and yeah, I liked it from the beginning. The wrapping is absolutely gorgeous, and the sound also. Took me a while at the beginning to figure out how to tune them properly, but I think right now I'm pretty happy with the sound. The only problem I have, this beautiful wrap is apparently very prone to color changes. You can see it here a little bit. I think at the beginning I had it too much in the sun, and that changed the color quite a bit. But now we have a curtain in the back, and I always put a sheet on top of it, so it should be fine. And for the snare drum, we have a 14 by 6.5 Yamaha Recording Custom, the aluminium version. I took aluminium because I think it's very versatile sound-wise. You can create a lot of different sounds with it, or better said, it suits a lot of different music genres, which I thought is pretty cool. Also here, it took me a while, or it's actually still taking me a while, to figure out how to tune it properly, or how to get the best sound of it. In the room itself, when I play it live, it sounds monstrous, really, really cool, great, loud sound. But as soon as I record it, it sounds pretty weak. So yeah, I still have to figure out how to approach the snare in the best way. Yeah, but that is basically the drums already. Moving on to the cymbals. As you might have seen, I am an absolute Zildjian fanboy. Always have been, even as a kid when I couldn't actually afford any of those. Yeah, so when I got the new drum set, I thought it's time to really invest some money. I think you can get away with a cheaper drum set, but cheaper cymbals, they will not sound good on a record, and it's not actually fun playing them or listening to them in general. So we have a 14-inch A custom hi-hat. Very nice, very loud, very clear sound. Then we have a 6-inch A custom splash. This is actually a bit too small. When I saw it online, I somehow thought it would be a bit bigger, but like if you see my hand comparison, it is very small. Then we have a 16-inch Trash Crash from the S line from Zildjian. It's the cheaper model, but nonetheless it has a absolutely awesome sound. I like it a lot. Then on the right side we have an 18-inch A-Custom Crash. Also not much to add, it's just an absolutely great cymbal. Then my secret favorite of all of them is my 16-inch Oriental Trash or China. Very cutting sound, especially on records. It sounds very nice. Very quick decay, no long sustain. There's a bunch of China cymbals that have this long, gongy sound, which I don't like at all. So I'm really happy with this one. And then last but not least, we have a 21-inch K-Custom Hybrid Ride. Also here, I like a lot. You have the polished bit in the middle, very big and loud bell, and then to the edges you have a bit more wash if you want to use it as a crash cymbal maybe. It's not ideal for crashing, obviously. It's very big and very heavy, but for some songs you can get away with it. Actually, originally I had a 20-inch A-Custom Ride. I got it in a package, so that's why I had it. But I didn't like the sound of it at all. The bell didn't sound nice, there was too much wash. And especially for songs where you want a clear, strong ping on the right cymbal, it really didn't sound that well. So I tried to sell it, nobody wanted to buy it. And yeah, now it's just sitting in my shelf as a kind of background decoration, which I think looks pretty cool for me. When it comes to drum heads, I really don't have any preferences, honestly. It's right now a wild mixture of Remo and Evans. For example, on the snare I have a Ambassador coated on the top and then the equivalent snare side to it. I always swap between the Ambassador and I think the Evans HD Dry. But right now I think the Ambassador gives me a bit of a nicer high end. Then for the toms, also Remo, we have the Emperor on the top and I think it's an Ambassador on the bottom. For the floor tom, actually we have Evans, top and bottom. I like that it gives a bit more of a muffled sound for the floor toms, and plus I put some cotton balls inside, so the decay of this drum is very, very fast and not as long and boomy as it used to be. And then for the kick drum, we also have Evans front and back, pretty standard, the EMAT 2. And then let me quickly go around. For the resonant, the EMAT resonant. What can I say? Remo and Evans, I think they're pretty much the industry standard. There are a few other brands that I have never tried before, but so far I didn't see the need. They always gave me the best results so far. Honestly, here I don't have any preferences. Whatever sounds good I will use. Probably if I redo the same video in 6 months, I will have completely swapped it. We'll have the Evans back on the snare, maybe try some Remo on the floor tom, depending on the sound I'm going for. Alright, then let's talk about drumsticks. I have used my fair share of drumsticks since the 2 years I started this channel. I broke a lot of them. Mostly they were Vic Firth, I think. I really don't like them anymore. They are not that sturdy. I honestly don't know why they are that big. Everyone is using them. I, for example, use a brand, okay, you cannot read it, it's called Vincent. Let me, I have a fresh pair here. Vincent, really good drumsticks, really sturdy. I think this is the rock version of it. This pair I've been using for like half a year now, which is amazing, and it is actually still in a pretty good condition, although I'm really hitting hard. And I play a lot of fast songs with it. I'm really happy because, yeah, buying new drumsticks all the time is also not so cost efficient, that's the word. And yeah, you see there's a lot of sawdust lying around. Yes, they obviously, every drumstick splinters, but yeah, this is by far, so far, the best and most sturdy drumstick that I have ever encountered. I'm really, really happy with them. When it comes to drum microphones, I'm really not an expert at all. So I read a lot what might work, what might not work. Yeah, and that's how I got the mic selection that I currently have. For example, the overheads I'm using, they came in a Beyerdynamic set that I got at the very beginning. They are the TG153C, I think they're called. I think they're okay. I have actually never bothered to look up any other overhead microphones because they are doing their job for now. Maybe at some point in the future I'll get more into that. Then the snare mics, I have currently 3. So on the top I have a SM57, which I think is pretty much the industry standard for recording snares. And to this one I have taped a Superlux. Don't know the exact technical description of it, but it was very cheap, like 20 euros or something, an absolute steal. And this I use mostly to get a bit more high end out of the snare, and you know, so far it has worked pretty great. And then on the bottom I have an Audix i5, which is also a great snare mic. I occasionally swap top and bottom, so the Shure is on the bottom and the Audix is on the top, but recently I figured that the Shure just has a bit more, what's the word, I don't know, a beefier sound, which I really like for the snare recordings. And then we have the tom mics. We have the Sennheiser E604, which is also nothing too special on the rack tom and also on the floor tom. The really cool thing about those are the clip-ons. They are so flexible and light, which makes it really easy to use. I had a few Beyerdynamics before with very clunky clip-ons that, first of all, they would not look great and they were way too big. And moving on to my room mic, this is the T-Bone RB500. It's a ribbon mic. I used to have a room mic in my mixes. Since a few videos I actually don't do it because I figure that I like this close and tighter sound way more. But yeah, this is the room mic I used. It's ribbon mic. I heard that this gives a bit of a warmer sound, so this is very nice. Also not expensive. I think it's the T-Bone. I mean, you can look up the prices. And then last but not least, the kick drum mic, which is an Audix D6, and this, I think this is my favorite mic. I had real problems before getting a good, punchy, tight kick drum sound, and now with this mic it's so easy. You just put it in. I think there's already an EQ built inside it. You can just record it and there's hardly any EQ necessary. You put some compression and you're good to go. It really is an awesome microphone. So yeah, that is the microphones. I have a bunch of other microphones lying around which I am currently not using, so I will not get into those. Then also let's talk about some hardware in general. For cymbal stands and for the hi-hat I use the Mapex line in black, Mapex Armory it's called. They look awesome, I have to say. In the videos here with the lights and everything, I really, really like the look. But would I buy them again? Probably not. They are not as sturdy as they might look like. They look massive, but they are actually pretty wonky. So if you extend them here to vertically, it wobbles all the time. The stand for the china is also not that sturdy, it keeps moving away. And then also the pedal board from the hi-hat stand, it's very long, I don't really like it, and it also moves the whole time. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, maybe it's me. And then obviously you see every little scratch that might come on the black hardware, of course. But what can you do? And as for my foot pedals, I have a Pearl Demonator. It's a lot of light. They are really good, very easy to play. Also the slave pedal is very easy to play. The standard beaters that came with it, I swapped them and put some, I think it is Sonor on it. Awesome rebound, very like clicky almost. You have the felt side and the rubber side, so you can also switch there. And yeah, this is really a great foot pedal. I had one from DW before, which I didn't like at all, which is weird because everyone keeps telling me how great those foot pedals are, and they probably are. But yeah, maybe this was a model that was not so well done, but I cannot complain now. I am really happy with this. And as for mic stands in general, yeah, I just get anything that is cheap, to be honest. Like those I think are 10, 15 euros each. Here this one is a bit more expensive, the gravity stands, but also nothing too special. And then I have a drum rack from Sultan, just to have the drums not stand on the concrete floor. So we almost forgot about the most important part, where it all comes together in the end, which would be my audio interface, respectively my MacBook. I use a Focusrite Scarlett 18i20 3rd gen, pretty much the best value for money interface you can get. I think, at least I didn't find anything else, was roughly 400 euros, which is very good for this quality you get. And then this goes via USB to my MacBook, and then on the MacBook itself I use Logic Pro to record. It's very easy. You don't need any extra software or installation, which would be the case with Windows probably. So this is very convenient. And then from the interface I have my in-ear monitors lying around here, connected with the cable here, so I always can hear the songs that I'm playing to. And yeah, those are just my other headphones. I usually connect with my cell phone when I just want to jam along to some songs. That is it for recording software, I would say. Maybe to wrap up the whole thing, I also show you the room which I am recording in. You might have already seen it. It is a big hall, which is currently being shared by a lot of other bands too. I'm actually also in one of those other bands back there, but this is not my drum set, but I'm just borrowing it. And yeah, it is awesome for rehearsing or having a place to just play some music. For recording purposes, I don't think it is ideal. You see, we have a lot of reflective surfaces, a lot of high concrete walls, lots of big windows, and then a high metal roof. So yeah, this poses quite a few challenges, but minding all of that, I am pretty happy with the sound I have been creating so far. Everyone who records acoustic drum sets, they know that it is quite a task to get a good sound, especially if you don't really have any knowledge about what you're doing. Everything that I am doing, I am learning from YouTube videos, from blogs on the internet. So yeah, I have to actually just hope that the information written there is correct. And then other than this is mostly just trial and error. Like I change the setup all the times, be it the drum heads, the positions of the microphones, the plugins I use for recording. Also, I want to mention that I never use any samples when I record. Also no pre-recorded samples from my own drum set. I always use 100% of the live recording that I do here, and either it sounds good or it sounds bad, but I never replace anything, which is pretty cool. Like I really want to get the best sound possible out of the drum set. This is like my personal challenge, and trust me, it is a challenge. But yeah, that is basically it. There's not much left to say. There's a bunch of stuff lying around here which we didn't talk about. Yeah, cymbal cleaner, some towels, some general cleaning stuff, cotton balls, drumsticks, some cables. Here we have a cowbell, some shakers. Yeah, those are the beaters from the foot pedal, the original ones. Yeah. Lots of stuff. I didn't get into the camera side of things. This is, maybe I do this in another video, but yeah. Now you know everything that I am using for creating my drum sound. Alright, that's already it. I hope the video is not too long. I might have given a few too many informations which are not 100% necessary, but forgive me. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask me. I think I can also write down again exactly all the technical names and specifications into the video descriptions if anyone wants to look up some stuff. And yeah, that is it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I see you next time.